would like to thank you for inviting me on this platform and sharing my views. I'm Mrs. Monica Chabra, and I'm in the field of education since last 2 decades. I have been a maths teacher for around a decade, and then I chose to be an administrator. And I pursued my choice, my interest, and now I'm heading one of the eminent schools in Pune as the principal. My discipline earlier as a teacher was mathematics, and now being an administrator, I guess I'm looking into everything, whether it's academics, it's holistic development of students. It is, in these times of pandemic, how to ensure that the rhythm of learning is not disrupted by continuing the virtual classes. Yeah, so it encompasses everything, and I guess I'm very proud to be in the field of education, because this is one field or one choice of career that makes more choices, like that gives rise or gives a pathway for students to develop their choices and also pursue them and develop their career.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. Monica,
and
about you have your passion. Please tell us about those things.
Well, my passion, yes, I love to beautify things, whether it's my home or whether it's myself or my school or my children, whatever aspect I'm looking into, I try to beautify it. That's one of my passions. I also like to read a lot. I would like to, for sure, share one beautiful book that I have just finished reading. That's The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari by Robin Sharma, a lovely book. Yeah. So I believe in, reading, because that gives you food for thought. And that also makes you introspect that how you are leading your life, how you are able to contribute to society, to people around you, because in order to lead a purposeful life, you have to be empathetic. You have to be inspiring, motivating. You have to be true to yourself also. Yeah. So these things, what I feel that they are very important and take you long way, and they also help you to strengthen your wings to achieve whatever you want, right? Because when we read the books, inspiring words also inspire us, and in turn we can inspire our family, our circle, our friends. So this is something which I feel that not just me, but my students or the future citizens should also inculcate, because whatever we read, especially the positive words, if we read the word of kindness and we prepare a mental frame of kindness, we become very kind. If we, in our mental frame, we have words of gratitude, we, express gratification. So for a wholesome life, these are certain values that we all should inculcate, whether it's gratification, it is empathy, or as a team leader or in whichever organization we are working, to collaborate well, to ensure that, we are moving towards the right path, taking our complete team along with us. So these things are very important in our lives, and even though we have it at the back of our mind, at times we become complacent. So reading books and kind of introspecting yourself always helps and always, keeps you on the right track. So that's kind of, philosophical side of me, I would say.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. Monica, tell us about awards you received. I want you to tell awards you have received.
I could not hear you. If you could just repeat, please, Meher.
Share about your awards.
My awards. Okay, yes. So as I said, I started my career as a teacher, a mathematics teacher, and I was teaching to grades 10th, 11th and 12th. That is because I just loved enjoying, engaging students in different activities, and maths being a very logical subject, it develops a very good reasoning aptitude in students. So for the board examinations, when the board exams are conducted, and since I had wonderful results, my students showed wonderful results. It was in fact 100 on 100 in maths 3 consecutive years. 1 or 2 children got. So I was awarded with Dr. Radha Krishnan National Award for teachers, and besides that, for me being engaged into a lot of activities, So Pune Club Kharadi has given me the Woman of Substance Award. I have also received appreciation certificate from ex-Education Minister Ms. Smriti Irani. And as a principal, the different activities that our school does and how our students perform. Based on that, we have been participating in certain like SO Olympiads and all. So there also I've received, Rock Sport Award, some appreciation letters. So this is how, the journey has been quite satisfying, but there's more to achieve. Yeah. And I also wanted to share that I'm on Instagram with Bliss of Life. This is like my title or caption, wherein every day I'm posting videos on positivity, motivation, as you are aware. So that also keeps me going, and that kindles the spark in me to connect to people more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Monica, beauty pageant.
Yes. As I said, that I like to beautify. It's not just a materialistic thing, but of course, even your inner soul. However, I had always wanted to participate in competitions. So I have participated in two pageants. One is BB Classic, that was held in Aminora Mall, Pune, and one was in Nyati County, Mrs. Nyati County. So I won the crown of Mrs. Nyati County. And in the second pageant, beauty pageant, I was the second runner-up, and I was, the great actor Rahul Roy was there, and it was like amazing. Yeah, so I had that, and now I am a finalist of Graha Lakshmi Mrs. India, which is going to be held soon. Let's hope soon, once the pandemic starts retreating, you can say. Yeah.
Awesome. So, my voice is.
It is breaking, but I'm trying to, read your lips, you can say.
Sorry. What you are taking the education system.
Yeah. So, what I believe is that whenever we teach the students, there has to be a holistic development of students and a harmonious development too. And what we call, it should not be the traditional way of teaching, which just leads to rote learning. Instead, it should be kind of a competency-based education, wherein the learning outcomes are really related to the life. The children can relate to the life, and that's how improves their skill set. Because improving skill set is of utmost importance, because that's how they will be able to apply the concepts in their practical life, and that's how they also get interested in studying. Otherwise, it becomes, they feel that whatever concepts we are teaching by just the blackboard method, they are just isolated from the real life. However, by engaging them into activities, they are motivated to learn. So how can we relate any concept with real life? For example, if my teachers want to teach about density, or they can start an activity considering, showing to them that, okay, if you put an egg in a salt water, then it sinks or it floats. So that's how you start a concept with some interesting activity, so that students get attached and you create joyful experiences in the class. Now, even though it is a virtual classroom, because the complete paradigm of teaching methodology has changed, and the way we are disseminating education is also completely different. Initially, it was quite challenging because we all were caught unaware that how to connect to the students. So initially it was WhatsApp videos, and then deciding on the platform, whether it's Zoom platform or Google Meet or Microsoft Teams. And then after that, because the teachers were also not very much, initially they were not prepared. So I guess collaboration is something that is very important, in any organization. So the team collaborated very well. They prepared, equipped themselves with required skills, and then started connecting to the students. Because what I feel, it is not just academics that is important, connecting to the students, especially these days when the children, they go through different turmoils because of the different exposure they get. So it's very important that they keep on getting a positive feedback about them. It is very important that because they seek validation, so we understand their requirement and then we connect to them. Because a teacher is like a second mother, what I feel. So how to strengthen the bond between teacher and student, and then comes the academics. Otherwise, just teaching does not help much. Whereas when the student and teachers are connected, and the teacher tries to create such a platform where the students get engaged in activities, in proper interaction, then we achieve the aim of holistic development of students. So what I feel is that these days what is important, not a teacher-centered approach, but a student-centered approach when we are teaching them. So activities like, if I want to sensitize them towards environment, because it's not just reading, studying and reproducing on the paper that what they have learned. It is very important that they become global citizen in true sense. So if I want to sensitize them towards environment, what would I do? We have conducted events like Green Lungs, where they understand, they learn the importance of, the plantation. They understand why every species is important. So simple activities like making bird feeders, being resourceful, making best out of waste. So these aspects are also a part of education these days. It is not just the textbook curriculum that is to be taught. Of course, that is also of a lot of importance, because tomorrow the concepts that they learn today, they are going to relate, and they are going to associate themselves with the outside world. So they have to prove their skill set. They have to show what talent they have, or what is the knowledge that they have. So comprehension of any activity or any concept is of course important, but how to do it? Do we go just by usual way, or we interact with them more, and we make our teaching learning process more interesting? So this is what I feel is very important these days, and that also increases their happiness quotient. So besides academics or besides the cognitive development, we should also think about their psychological development. Sorry. Because this is a very key aspect. In fact, these days in the pandemic, we all must have, gone through or seen different challenges, emotional challenges. So why it is important that we all are emotionally strong, or emotional well-being is important, because then we are on the right track. We always take right decisions. We are mentally balanced. So this is something which I feel that we should inculcate in our students beside the regular academics. And they are grounded to their roots. They take right decision, and they are firm in their decision. They do not lack any kind of emotional stability, right? They should have all that. So I guess it encompasses everything. So these days education is not just textbook and notebooks. It is complete grooming of the students, and at times we consider the parents also as stakeholders. So we have to involve parents also, because it's like a community partnership. So involving the parents, guiding them, because at times the students do not listen to the parents, they listen to the schools more, or the school counselors more. So our role is also to involve them, to guide them, to kind of be a mediator between the student and the parent if at all required. So these are things which we need to look into, so that the happiness quotient is developed in them, and then how to keep their momentum high, as I said. So self-affirmative exercises, having positive thoughts, participating in different competitions where they express their views, because they also need a vent out, right? So expressing their views, participating. So keeping them engaged in a positive manner, giving them that platform, giving them that opportunity wherein they are, they feel free. And especially these days when physically they are not meeting with their friends. So the peer interaction or the interaction with the teacher on virtual platform, it has to be done in a way where they feel that they are with their friends or they are with their teachers. They have that connect. So it has a lot of things. It's not just teaching and learning these days at all. Okay, so let me talk about the disadvantages first, because I try to move from negative to positive, as I said. So the disadvantages are, of course, the increased screen time. Increased screen time is something which is a matter of concern. But again, to combat that, few steps like you make the students indulge in some kind of physical exercise. They have the PE periods also. Some exercises that are good for eyes. Giving 10 minutes break between two classes, so that at a stretch they do not are with the gadget. So that's how you combat, because we are currently helpless. We cannot do till the time the vaccination is done or the schools start properly. We have to continue with the virtual platform. So this is one thing. Second is learning gap. So what happens is that being physically present in the class and talking to the teacher and actually experiencing that in the class, in a group of 20 students or 30 students is something different. And being in a virtual platform, it's something different. So certain learning gaps are created. But then again, we have to combat, we have to find solutions. Like if grades 2 child is going to grade 3 or 1 is going to grade 2, in case it is required, especially for the younger children, senior children still they are able to manage. For the younger children, if there's any kind of a bridge course that is to be done before the next session starts, that if one concept was taught but probably it was not, the learning outcomes were not 100% achieved, then before going to the next session we revisit that concept. So we have to tackle it by devising different ways. Okay, so screen time and learning gap, that is one aspect which of course is not very positive about it. And interaction with peers, but then again it has to be only on virtual platform. The positive aspect is that now it has unleashed a lot of creativity. Children have also devised ways, and we also kind of give them a platform where they are able to speak. They are able to do the activities. They get more time because commuting part is now taken care of. I mean, they don't have to commute, so that time is saved. So they can indulge into some other positive activity. That is one aspect. Okay, and then they have access. They have access to knowledge. They have access to libraries, the e-libraries. They have access to different professors or teachers. Okay, anytime. And then if the classes are recorded, then they can learn at their own pace also by revisiting that recorded class. So that is a positive aspect. And students who are not there, or in case even the teachers are not there in the city, virtual platform gives you that convenience that wherever you are, you do speak to the teachers. You are there, you try to provide the notes, the soft copies. So what I feel is that every cloud has a silver lining to it. Yeah, and we have to adopt a positive paradigm of whatever is going on around us and make the best of it. So being positive, we certainly can overcome those challenges and go ahead, move ahead. And as I said initially, that the rhythm of learning should not be disrupted. That's the key point, that if you keep your momentum high, if you have that will, then of course the things will happen. But of course we are waiting for the schools to reopen, to give them the regular way to come, talk, and that peer interaction. All that should happen. But till then, let's try to make the most of whatever we get.
Monica, I would contribute to these again.
Yes.
You contribute to it Nude schools. Nude schools.
Yeah. Well, actually, I don't believe in talking about positive deeds much. But yes, whenever I get chance, I do want to take opportunity, and I have been taking opportunity to being instrumental in bringing a positive change in lives who are not so much blessed, you can say. So I believe in that, and I involve myself in that.
Good. I just want with that. Right.
Yeah.
So, talking about the 3D.
Yes. So what I feel that wherever you are, whether you are a homemaker or you are a principal or you are an architect or working in a corporate society, corporate world, what I feel that makes you progress in a perpetual way is by incorporating the 3Ds: dedication in your life, then inculcating discipline in yourself, and having a strong determination. So determination, discipline, and dedication. These are the 3Ds one should incorporate in their lives, in their working style, so that you are always kind of ahead, and you are able to achieve what you want. And another important thing that I would say is that, as I said, for perpetual progress, always remember that you should be able to learn, unlearn, and relearn, because that's how you keep yourself updated. And by keeping yourself updated, you are more, you become more beneficial to the society and to the people around you. Great. So that's how it's important that you keep improving your skill set, and give back to the society or to your family in a larger way, in a better way. Yeah, so that's how we can contribute, and it of course is good for us also. It is very good for us because we also grow by learning, unlearning, and relearning. We also grow and move ahead. Yeah.
And what message would you mothers?
For the mothers, I would say, first of all, being a mother itself is a big achievement. Having children, raising children, bringing them, it's a beautiful thing. And of course, being a working mother, I know that it is challenging. But as your children grow, you learn that your children become your strength, because they inspire you to move ahead, to achieve more. So they become your strength. And for any woman, I would say that they are capable of breaking the glass ceiling if they have that determination. So strengthen your wings, be grounded, be attached to your roots, be inspired, keep inspiring, and make your family, your children as your strength, because they will surely support you. So being a mother is, I think, it's a beautiful phase of life which only a woman can have. Right? Yeah. So one thing is that I try to live in the present moment. So when I'm at my office in my school, I'm totally, engaged with whatever tasks that are there in front of me. But when I come back home, I'm totally with the students, with my children, with my family, and try to do the best, give them the best, talk to them, play with them. So living in the moment is more important, because physically if you're in school and mentally you're at home, or vice versa, that is, you're at home and your mind is in school, that doesn't help. So be where you are and make the most of it and give your best. That's how we can, utilize the time properly and keep our family and also our people at our workplace satisfied.
And inspirational thoughts. Pandemic period.
Well, as I said, every cloud has a silver lining to it. So whatever comes, let's try to find opportunity in it. Okay. Now, because of pandemic, now work from home has started. So you start enjoying that. At the same time, you make yourself more tech savvy, that you're able to meet the demand of the times. That also is important. So whatever situation that you're facing, you have to, if you have that strong passion, then you always remain undaunted in challenging situation. Okay, so facing these challenging situation with your complete passion and your commitment, you will be able to emerge out of the difficult situation, whether it is your emotional breakdown or whether it is an challenging issue at your workplace, because nothing is permanent in this world. Okay, everything is temporary. Like a movie, the reel of the movie moves on, right? And you don't see what has already passed, right? The same way is our lives. So remaining motivated is something that I feel that you should sleep with a dream and wake up with a purpose. So that's my catchline. I would like to say that sleep with a dream, wake up with a purpose, be motivated, and try to make the most of what you have. If you are passionate for your work, if you are passionate for your family, then no matter what the situation is, when you try to give your best, then you really emerge out of the challenging situation and just remain undaunted, whatever the situation is. Yeah. So be persistent. Be persistent.
Beautiful thoughts. Beautiful thoughts. Really motivated by that. So thank you, Monica, for
my pleasure.
We are facing technical issue. Thankfully, I was able to. Okay, thank you. We will be corrected a lot later.
Sure.
And do follow her page.
Yeah.
I will. You're very excited.
Thank you. Yeah. Bye.
Thank